Who is this? I asked my sister, showing eyes on an old man passing by, tousled gray hair, but waved hand. Sister, this is a local crazy petka. Pay no attention to him. Is he transmits messages from the other world to everyone I was surprised, and my sister giggled and began to speak. Imagine he walks around and tells everyone what he gets on TV, messages from the dead, and transmits these messages. Just recently came to grandmother Nina and says, they say, I saw your husband on TV. He is dissatisfied with the suit. Big on him. Shoes from someone else's feet. Took off and put on him. And she is small and presses, and I forgot to put my glasses on. Here he asks you to give him a suit, boots and glasses. Bob and Nina, of course, for everything. The village went wild. Brought him to her son. His neighbor told that they say Petka walks and says that the mother yours will die soon. For this, the neighbor's son went to Peter and cuffs hung him. And I complained to the district police officer. I don't know what it is. They finished the job. Only neighbor died after a few days, and people said that grandmother Nina still put a suit in the coffin, boots and glasses for her late husband. Interesting, thoughtful, I said. Yes. Nothing interesting, waved sister. Crazy, he is crazy. The next day I was unpacking my bags with my things, and there were a lot of them, because I came to my sister for a month. After that I decided to go to this grandfather's bet. Already I'm very interested in the topic of the other world. Reached it without difficulty. I had to ask people where he lives. I was just walking down the street and saw a disheveled figure. I approached and said hello. Peter raised his head, smiled broadly and said loudly, hello sweet girl, you're on business with me or just walking by? Well, I do not know. Right now, for some reason, it seemed to me that the idea of talking to the old man was not and very successful. But since I am here, I want to talk to you. I said I hope that he won't send me talk. Overjoyed, the old man it with pleasure. Come on in. We sat on a wooden porch. The old man put the teapot on, some herbs, 2 mugs, and oatmeal cookies. What are we going to talk about? Asked old man. Pour me a herbal mug decoction. Peter, tell me how you get messages. You won't believe me, Peter answered without looking up. Why did you decide so? I asked. And no one believes me. It has sad, answered Peter, and began to look into the cup with decoction, as if hoping to find an answer there. On my question, I believe I said, can be more convincing. Started 7 years ago. My story, Peter, I fell through the ice, swallowed water and drowned. People saw how I went underwater. They pulled me out, pumped me out, and since then I have already been discharged from the hospital. Sitting in front of the TV at home, I am watching the news, and suddenly an image disappeared and the ripples went. I am the buttons on the remote control. I press, but the channels do not switch. Well, I think the TV is broken. And here, on the screen among the ripples, the image of a man arose, and deftly tells me so. They say I, such and such, then lived there, then there, died, then, and I want you to be Peter. Conveyed the message to my relatives, and then dictated messages, wrote down the message, began to search his relatives, found them, gave them a message. And there is something about hidden money in it. It was said they thanked me later. For a long time, even a package of sweets sent. And then it went and went, sometimes for weeks. No one bothers me. And sometimes, several times a day, the dead contact and ask for a message to their handover. Ours in the village do not believe me. They think crazy in neighboring villages. Too few people believe. They shy away from me. I must send messages, otherwise the deceased will be and for me. But those to whom I send letters, I don't know anything about them. Maybe someone and helped. You send letters? I was surprised. Yes, Peter confirmed. Got up and went into the house. After a couple of minutes he returned holding in hands with a thick stack of letters. Here wrote, said Peter, handing me the letters. See how many need for distant mail. Drive and send there, otherwise the postman won't send it. She'll kick me out. Mail. She always does. I really confirmed a lot. Sorting through the letters. And suddenly I was like a current hit. On one of the envelopes I saw your address. I put aside all letters except what was addressed to me. For some reason, my hands shook, my palms sweated. Someone died. I don't answered by simply nodding her head in sign. Honor your consent, said the old man, and I'll go put water on the fire. Otherwise, we drank the whole broth. Peter got up and went to the house. I opened the envelope and started to read. Message from Nikita. Nikita asked me to stop living in the past. Not pushed away the Roma, but accepted. His proposal was to live happily ever after, and that has not would be considered a betrayal. In relation to him, Nikita still asks, remind of a birch twig. I folded paper, put it in an envelope, and realized that my face is wet with tears. How is that? Maybe that living for me is more than 1,000 kilometers. Old man Peter could to communicate with my deceased 4 months ago groom that he is really with him. Communicated no doubt. Roman tiger told only Nikita, and only in front of me. About a birch twig in general, no one except didn't he know me and Nikita. We were with him in the forest, walked there, took pictures here, stopped at one birch. I broke it off small twig and handed it to him. Nikita, as if anticipating trouble, said, what if something happens to him? Then I will have to live for the two of us, and sure to be happy. So he looked at me from there and rejoiced. From hospital, a second before his death, he whispered, remember the birch twig? That evening I told my sister everything. Showed her the letter. She was shocked. About a month from the fact that I lived with my sister at a party, and me and sister, we proved to all the villagers that Peter is not crazy, has for nothing for an incredible gift, unyielding logic. But he helps people a lot. No longer I know if the villagers believed me and my sister, but Peter was treated with respect. The postman no longer kicks me out of the mail. Uncle Petya and regularly sends him letters.